right, warm-up routine for the gym. So this is going to be a follow along and we're going to go really quick. What you're going to need is a wall, a mat, bands, mini bands, that's it. All right, let's get started. The first one is going to be wall bug. It is a dead bug, but you are going to press against the wall. When you press against the wall, you're going to feel core bracing happen, not just on the bottom, but the top as well. You want to always keep your lumbar spine pressed against the ground. You're going to pressurize your whole core and press against the ground with your lumbar, and you're going to lower your feet, tap one at a time. Keep that lumbar pressed. You don't want to arch up your back. And if you become more advanced, then you can lengthen a leg. Keep pressing against the wall behind you. Keep going, great work. And then we're going to go, when we're done with this, straight into single leg glute bridge. You're going to pop one heel down close to your butt, rock up on the heel, and then you're going to pop yourself up into the air. I want the other leg back, not forward. I want it towards you. And I don't want you arching out your back to get the height. I want you actually tucking that pelvis. I want you to hold for a couple breaths, and so this is how we're going to do the breathing. You're going to inhale on the lower, exhale on the up. Inhale, pressure into your lower back. Exhale and pop a little bit higher. So we're just going to repeat that. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale, fill up the lower back. Exhale, up a little higher, down. And you're just going to keep doing these until you feel a great engagement in the glutes. Most important thing is do not let the other leg drop. It's going to want to drop. The hip is going to want to drop. You have to fight to keep this side up all the time. Great. Once you have engagement, switch to the other side. Why are we doing this? And the answer is, of course, to make sure our core is fully switched on, so when we do our weightlifting exercises, we have great core engagement, and most important, we need phenomenal glute engagement. We need the glutes to be firing through the nervous system so that we can have our glutes active in our big lifts, not just our hamstrings. Fight to keep that hip up. Great. We'll then transition into our next exercise. Air squat. Oh wait, side leg raise. Okay, so there are 3 different side leg raises, which is great if you're alternating through an ABC plan. First one is traditional side leg. I want you bringing up your bottom leg to 90 degree. I want you not arching out your back, but I want you tucking your pelvis. And then I want you to internally rotate this leg. Right? Flat, internal. I want you to take your heel and push it up to the sky. The temptation is to arch so you can go higher. Don't do that. Tuck that pelvis. You fight to keep the pelvis tucked, and you fight to keep the hip internally rotated. It's hard, and that's the point. We're activating the glute med, hip stabilizer. It's a phenomenally important muscle for stability in pretty much everything that we do that involves standing. But definitely in squat, definitely in deadlift, definitely in hip thrust. the breathing cadence, once you find really good alignment of your core and of your hip rotation, is to inhale lower, exhale up, inhale to brace the core, and then exhale a little bit higher, and that's the cadence. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keep that routine going. If you don't get it the first time, it'll come to you later when you do more practice. If you need to pause, pause. Keep going until you feel great engagement in the side of the hip. You will feel it. Switch to the other side. It's the exact same thing. This is a follow along. Leg 90 degrees. Do not arch out the back. Tuck the pelvis. Find, and by the way, that means you can't have your leg way back here. You have to have your leg a little more neutral. Rotate the hip. Up. Hold. Inhale. Exhale. A little higher. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. A little higher. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A little higher. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale a little higher. Just keep going. Practice makes perfect. You're not going to have such a complicated thing ready in just one practice session. Go at your own pace. Pay attention to your breathing. Pay attention to your hips. Pay attention to your rotation. There are other variations, but they follow the exact same principle. The second variation is you have the exact same 90-degree leg, and instead of lifting here, you just move your leg up to pike position, and you're going to do these. When you do these, it's the exact same breathing, it's the exact same tucking the pelvis. The only thing to be aware of is you don't want to rock your hip back. You want to keep your hips not moving. This is just the leg that moves. You see, I'm not cheating. I'm keeping this knee directly above this knee. That keeps me honest. You notice my hips are not changing their location. They are staying put. The third variation is the clamshell. And with the clamshell, you take a nice heavy band, put it around your knees, and then it's the exact same thing as the previous one with regard to tuck your pelvis. You can have a block between your feet, or you can just rest one foot on top of the other, and you just raise your knee, lower, raise your knee. Again, you're not cheating. You can rock the hip back and make it very easy, but if you keep your knees one on top of the other, it's very hard. You're gonna get a phenomenal glute medius activation by doing this, right? So those are your three different hip exercises. When you have your band on, go to air squat to calf raise. This is your next exercise. Little puppy, we're going to squat, come up onto your toes. You can do this with zeros, you can do this with Olympic lifting shoes, you can do this with any kind of shoe. Drop low, pop up. You do not want to arch out your back. You want to keep your hips tucked. When you come down, feel the glutes pop up. Inhale on your way down, exhale on your way up. Now when you come up all the way to the top, squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the quads, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the calves, squeeze everything. 4. You will notice this gives you a lot more bang for your buck than just simple air squats. Now you will notice that I have a fair bit of width here. You can go narrow. I don't recommend it. If you go wider, you use more muscle in the lift. Now as far as what you're doing with your feet, you are grounding evenly through the feet. You're not rocking to the outside, not falling to the inside, using the whole front of the foot. Next, my cheat sheet, Cossack Squat. You are going to find a nice wide position, and you are going to drop onto one side, do a single leg squat. You feel a lovely stretch through your calf, and then this heel, this toe comes up. You rock to the other side. Same thing, you keep your heel down best you can, so I'm really folded over the front of my body. You're going to feel a lovely stretch through the hips. The breathing is always the same for every exercise. We inhale on the lower. We use that to brace our lower back, our abs. Exhale on the up. And you'll notice that I can go all the way up. I can go across. But the whole point is this is a fantastic mobilization. From the side. I recommend 15 per side, but do what feels really good for you. Everybody's at a different place. Next is arm circles. You know how to do an arm circle, but I recommend starting small, increasing the size of the circles. Really feel the stretch through the whole range of motion, right? Feel the shoulders open up and loosen as you do the reps. Go backwards, small, bigger. That's one of your 3 options for shoulder warm up. The second is going to be a banded dislocate. I don't have a band with me, but basically holding a broomstick or a band, you go around, right? Keeps that stretch open all the way back around. And the third one, plate halo or a kettlebell halo. Take a nice light weight, circle it around. You can see my shoulders are getting a fantastic warm up, okay? You're going to do those until you feel like your shoulders are nicely warmed up. Lastly, you're going to do burpees. If you don't know how to do a burpee, look it up. And that is your warm-up routine.